Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Ziad. Today it is my pleasure to present our research titled Analysis of Debris Discharge Magnitudes in the Tempuran River, Parangjoho Watershed. This work was a collaborative effort by Ziad Yusuf Husaini, or me, and Cahyono Ihsan and Sopriya from the postgraduate program of civil engineering at 11 Maret University. Now, this is my content structure, and number 1 is introduction, number 2 methodology, number 3 is result, and then the conclusion and recommendation. Okay, next. This is the introduction from this research. The focus of our study is the Tempuran River, a key waterway within the Parangjoho watershed. This area is particularly susceptible to debris flow and significant sedimentation events, especially during periods of high-intensity rainfall. Debris flow is defined as a mass movement of sediment, rocks, and organic material carried by water down a slope due to gravity and extreme rainfall. This phenomenon is not trivial. It has the potential to cause several infrastructure damage, reduce the functional capacity of the river, and accelerate sedimentation in downstream areas, such as reservoirs and dams. Modern research emphasizes that factors like sediment particle size and channel morphology are critical in estimating the peak discharge of these flows. Therefore, calculating the debris discharge is a vital step in understanding the potential hazards and in designing effective sediment control structures, like sabodams, to mitigate this risk. This analysis is crucial for disaster mitigation, infrastructure planning, and sustainable watershed management. With the background in mind, the primary objective of the study is clear and specific: to determine the magnitude of the debris discharge carrying sediment in the Tempuran River, Parangjoho watershed. Our study is located at the Tempuran River within the Eromuka district of Wonogiri Regency, Central Java. The specific catchment area we analyze covers 2,698.41 hectares upstream of the Parangjoho Dam. This study was conducted using secondary data. Our primary data sources included rainfall data from the Parangjoho station covering a 20-year period from 2005 to 2024, and DEMNAS data, which we use for watershed delineation with the help of HMS software. Before any analysis, the rainfall data had to be validated to ensure its quality. We performed two critical tests. First, a consistency test using the Result Adjusted Partial Sums, or REPS method. This is important to identify any changes or trends in the data over time. Second, a stationary test using the F-test and T-test methods. This test assesses the stability of the data's variance and mean, ensuring it is suitable for frequency analysis. After validating the data, our analysis proceeded in three main stages. First, we calculated the design rainfall. We tested several probability distribution methods, including Gumbel, log normal, and log percent type 3 to find the best fit our data. Second, we analyzed the design flood discharge. Using the watershed characteristic, we employed three different synthetic unit hydrograph or HSS method: Schneider, Nakayasu, and SGS-CN. Finally, we calculated the debris flood discharge. This final step was performed based on the established gauge from the SAPOWORKS manual published by the Japan International Cooperation Agency or JICA in 2010. Now, let's look at the results. Our data validation was successful. In the RAPS consistency test, the calculated Q and R values were smaller than their critical values, confirming the data is consistent. In the stationary test, the F count was less than the F critical, and the T count was less than the T critical. This means the data is stable and homogeneous. This result gave us the confidence that our dataset was reliable and robust for the subsequent hydrological analysis. For the design rainfall, our analysis showed that the normal distribution method was the most suitable, having passed both the chi-square and Smirnov-Kolmogorov tests. Using the method, the design rainfall for a 100-year return period or Q100 was calculated to be 162.31 millimeters. Next, for the design flood discharge, we compared the results from the three HSS methods. As you can see from the table, the Nakayasu method consistently produced the largest discharge values across all return periods. For the 100-year return period, the flood discharge was 103.54 cubic meters per second. Next, this brings us to the core result for our study, the debris discharge. We applied the JICA formula where the debris discharge or QS equals the flood discharge or QW multiplied by a factor of 1 plus the sediment concentration or CD. The parameters for CD include water density, sediment density, and the river slope. Our calculation yielded a CD value of 0.1074. However, the JICA SAPOWORKS manual permits using of a standard CD value of 0.3 for planning purposes when the calculated value is lower. Therefore, the final formula became QS equals 1.3 times QW. Applying this to our largest calculated flood discharge, we arrive at our final result. The largest debris flood discharge for a 100-year return period is 134.61 cubic meter per second. Next, in conclusion, this research has successfully quantify the potential debris flow hazard in the Tempuran River. The key finding is that the largest sediment flow discharge for a 100-year return period is 134.61 cubic meters per second, according to the Nakayasu method and JISA guidelines. Based on these findings, we have one primary recommendation. This research should be further developed to conduct a more detailed investigation into the actual sediment concentration within the debris flow, as well as to analyze the potential damage it could bring to the surrounding area and infrastructure. And finally, this is the last of my slides that concludes my presentation. Thank you very much for your time and attention. I would now be happy to answer any question you may have. See you.